And we say we're tired, we're exhausted, we're filled with too much information. We have too much to worry about. I'm too busy looking at this political situation and the Olympics and this and that and the other thing, and we can't even see straight. And we're dying to see the miracles of God, but all we look at is the lack and the noise of the devil. Can I tell you something? We were driving here this morning and we were on the highway, and I was watching the weeds as we're going through Hartford. The weeds are growing in the concrete barriers. And I'm like, God, what in the world? He says, don't you understand? Weeds grow best in heat and bad conditions. If you're not careful, the flowers will wither. They take tending. Right now, the world is in terrible condition. You, if you live in it, if you breathe in it, if you suck it in all the time, are living in scorching heat that's going to cause weeds to grow up inside of your heart. The good stuff, the fruit, the flowers, the pretty things, they take tending. They take watering. They take intention. Weeds grow with no intention, and they're annoying to pull out. You ever pull a weed and you don't get the root? Happens all the time. Why? If I try to pull a daisy out of the ground, the whole thing comes up. It's a principle of sin. It's pervasive. It gets stronger when the heat is scorching. But at the end of the age, the angels will come and they'll sort between the wheat and the tares. And the tares will go into fire. The devil will have his day, and so will the people who follow him. You get to choose now who you will follow. You get to choose now whose voice you'll hear. You get to choose now whether you'll look at the lack or you'll look at the provision. The other thing God said to me, and I was going back and forth about talking about Moses because there's a lot of parallels, is that right before God's about to do something great, the devil always gets really loud and makes golden calves. When God gave the law to Moses and the people on the ground beneath the mountain were forming a golden calf, God was handing to Moses the very thing that would protect his people and keep them in communication and relationship with him. God was handing to Moses the very thing that would be their life and their sustenance and keep them in obedience. God was handing to Moses the most miraculous thing of the entire Exodus. It wasn't the walls of the sea or the miracles and the plagues. It was the book of the law. It was the 10 commandments that would keep them in right relationship and out of slavery. It would keep them out of slavery. And the devil raised a counterfeit and formed a calf out of gold and got people to buy in with him. We get to choose, guys, what we'll listen to. We get to choose what we'll see. What I know is that God is setting us up for a massive outpouring of his presence and his spirit. God is setting us up to see massive miracles. You can clap for him, don't clap for me. Don't clap for my words, but clap for him. Because he's setting us up for it. We have to decide if our lack is what we're going to look at, or if we're going to bless that lack and ask him to multiply it. That doesn't just mean about money. It means about miracles. It means about whatever it is. You know what? I got a partial healing here. I'm going to praise God. Jim's still alive. I'm going to praise God. This one's still alive. I'm going to praise God. Somebody's sitting in church that wasn't here last week. I'm going to praise God. And ask him to multiply it to satisfy everything that we need.